Hello everyone and welcome to our live stream tonight. We are going to be doing a live stream retro remake. If you don't know what retro remake is when we take an old game from our past and remake it using current technology and software. So we'll be using Unreal Engine 5 to create Bomberman over the course of the year. In these live streams, we'll be tackling new topics inside the Bomberman sort of series, as well as adapting it for our own modern takes as well, so evolving the game a little bit into our own styles. And if you want to follow along, the starter project is available to all gold patrons, and after each live show, gold patrons will also have access to the files updated, so they can play along and follow along with me. I want to say hello to everyone who is following us live. So hello to everyone live. Hello Angus. Hello Mr. Tree Guy. Mr. Tree Guy is asking, did I get a chance to check out the page? Not yet. No, not yet. It's been massively busy, doing all sorts of crazy things. Can't reveal yet, but I will do soon. It'll get exciting. But nonetheless, so yeah, what we've done today is I've put together a project in Unreal Engine 5. I thought we'll start in Unreal Engine 5 this time because I'm thinking, like, down the road, by the time we get to the end of the year, we actually want to have this in the most up-to-date engine. So even though it's not out yet, it will be out by the end of the year. So, and as for asset-wise, I brought in the learning kit stuff for the character. So if you don't know what I mean by that, it is this guy. Okay, so it is this guy from the Unreal Marketplace, the learning kit. It's free to download, so you can freely use it. And the reason why I want to use him as our mascot instead of Bomberman, obviously, is that we can easily change his colours, which works quite well. And obviously, he's quite cute and fun to mess about with. So we'll be using him. And I've also brought in some level assets that are available for free from the artist Quantinus. I'd strongly recommend checking him out if you haven't already done so. He offers free asset packs, and you can just support him via Patreon as well. There's a variety of stuff he updates now and then. I've used them quite a few times. It's a good resource for some simple low poly assets that you may want to use. So we're using some of the assets from the platformer pack here, mostly like the blocks, so I can blow them up and things like that. So do check them out. That is well worth it. Okay, so this is all live. So what we're going to see, what you're going to see here, is the process I follow when I'm making a game, and sort of the problem solving that I go into. So if you find that that is a useful thing to see and experience, then this is the right show for you. We're not here to just go through tick boxing like here. This is what you got to do, but we're also going to be explaining my thought process into solving these problems. So you're not going to see me just solve it. You're going to hear me also explain how and why I'm solving it in that particular way. And so a little bit of insight into actual game development. But it is live, so we don't know nailed out bugs, things to fix, and so forth. But we can also decide things in the chat and see what's going on. Yeah, get cracking. So let's get started here by creating our environment. So we're going to create a new level for this. I'm going to create a new folder for this called maps, and we're going to chuck in a level, and we'll call this one Bomber Arena. And we're going to go inside here. Yep. Okay. The Bomber Arena obviously is empty to begin with, so we have to put in lights, sky, things like that, so we can actually see stuff going around. So let's go into create here, and we're going to go into let's go to the place actors panel and search for the sky atmosphere, skylight, and the directional light. And for the directional light, you do need to scroll down and turn on the atmosphere setting. Is there, so you can see the atmosphere. That'll do for that. Will this be multiplayer? Yes, we'll. So what we're doing is doing AI and multiplayer over the course of the series. And we can see how far we can take it. Hopefully online multiplayer, but definitely we'll do local multiplayer for sure. But yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Let's add some floor to this thing. You have a comment. What's your comment then, Mr. Tree Guy? So for the floor, I brought in that Quantonian Quantonian assets thing. So in here we've got these meshes that I can use. So we're going to place these around and develop our floor for our game. So I'm going to just bring in here and snap this to 0. Z here. Actually, I'll do it 0, 0 for everything here. Okay, there it is. And furthermore, we're going to work on placing this in the environment with, I can see, well, okay, I see what he's done here. So I need to bring that down. So 100. And then snap that around. So let's change the snap here. 100. Yep, that looks like it's right. And I'm just going to duplicate this across, holding the Alt key to build out my environment. So I'm going to build it out like so. And bring that out this way. Get out this way. So you just duplicate by holding down the Alt key. Hold down Shift as well. It moves the camera along with your gizmo. But yeah. So hey, what kind of game is this? So this is Bomberman. We're making Bomberman. If you're not familiar with what Bomberman is, really do check it out. It's one of the greatest games that were made back in the day. It's good fun. Good multiplayer game. So this is the reason why I brought this guy in with these assets, because he comes with bricks, a crate, and a bomb. Obviously, very useful for a Bomberman game. Let's take a look at these and see how big they are. Okay, so we're looking at a 100 by 100 space here. Let's see how that compares to our character. We can get the scaling right. Go to characters. Go to the mesh. Drag that out. Okay, that's not too bad actually. We could probably leave it like that sort of size. But obviously the flooring needs to be a bit bigger here. So what I'm actually going to do is, because these are using flat shades, I'm going to... It's all going to be like top-down isometric, by the way, as well. And it's a fixed camera. If I take this and just scale this then by the amount of spaces I want. So hang on, let me find a picture of Bomberman. The olden days Bomberman. Look at the size of the arena. So here's a picture. So if you don't know what Bomberman looks like, this is what Bomberman looks like. So yeah, although we're doing this in Unreal 5, by the way, you can also do this in Unreal 4. There's nothing here that we're going to be doing that doesn't need 5. You can do it all in 4. But let's take a look at this. So we've got how many blocks we got? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so 15 blocks across. We've got 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11 blocks down. Okay, so I need to multiply this then. 11 blocks in the X there, and 15 Y. So that's the size of our floor here. That's a good start project. It's not too bad actually. I would say this is like a sort of beginner level project. Obviously we can add more advanced stuff to it. The reason why it was chosen as well was because it is quite flexible. We can add lots of stuff to it because of our power-ups, for example. So we can really have some fun with those. It could be quite a little fun little project. I've never made a Bomberman game, so this would be a first for me as well. But what I'm thinking in my head, it isn't too bad. So yeah, it should be alright. Okay, so this should line up then with our blocks then. So if I go into the meshes and drag the block out, like so. Drag out our block. Also, a part of the game as well that you may not be familiar with is also that it is randomly generated at start, so or pseudo randomly generated. So we'll also be doing that hopefully today as well. But what I want to try and get done today is have the maze set up and have your character running around dropping bombs. That's the minimum I'm trying to aim for today. If we get more than that, great. But definitely those ones. Okay, and then we do select. Oh, we've got a bit of clipping here. What's going on here? What have I missed? Assume I'll clip something else. Yeah. There you go. Have a good evening, Mr. Tree Guy. By the way, patrons will get this video file on demand straight after the live stream. We also get it 2 weeks later. As I mentioned at the start of the video, gold patrons will get access to the starter files, as well as each live stream's updated project, so you can follow along. Take these ones. So the bricks here are going to be like the fixed blocks, okay? So you can't blow these ones up. So these help decorate the arena, also give it its shape. And then the ones you blow up are the crates. That's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so now we've got to place these in our arena, like so. Now the way these are spaced apart is like one space between each one. And it's good. So when it's like this, so we should have 4 there, and let's just make sure that's correct here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Then we're going to drag that across. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, and it should be even again now. And it's just a matter of duplicating plus. Okay, so our arena is set up here. We have a good little arena here set up, and we're then going to put in some crates later on, but the crates would spawn in and random places like this, then you could blow them up with bombs. But we want to get our character first. We'll just navigate in this area. So we need to set up a camera and our character. So the camera's pretty simple because it's just a fixed perspective, so it's sort of like this sort of view. Maybe a bit higher up, like so. So you can navigate around the map in its full view. So what we're going to do here is find a camera and drag that in. And then we're going to pilot this camera. So we can place it into the map accordingly to us. So we want to be able to see the whole thing, obviously. There we go. Maybe a bit more up because we need to also see, because the difference between this and like the old Bomberman, obviously the 2D versus 3D. So one of the complications you have with 3D is that the ones at the further back in perspective are harder to hide. It's easier to hide stuff behind it, which we don't want to do. We don't want to hide players or bombs or anything like that. So this does need to be nearly fair enough above, almost entirely above the objects. And I think we're good there. And I'm going to leave that camera there. Okay, so we've got the camera up here and the environment down there. So with this camera, I need to set it to follow this camera at the very start of the game. So what I'm going to do here is go into level blueprint and tell it to do so. So let's go to blueprints up here and turn on open level blueprint. And with that camera selected, have it selected, go into the level blueprint and right click, create reference to camera actor. You can then take this and do the get player controller as well. And tell the player controller to set the view target to this camera. Set view target with blend. And we'll plug that in. Okay, so it will start off when we push play at that camera. Okay. Next, we need our character. So let's go ahead and build that. Go into our character folder here. What's this? Ah, it's not ours. That's fine. This is stuff that's come with the assets. Need it. So blueprint class. We're going to do actor. Oh, it's not actor. Sorry. Character. Character, and this would be bomber character. And in there, we're going to set up the mesh to be our character mesh. I'm just going to place him to scene here. Make sure he's facing the same way as the arrow. Make sure that that is the case. A lot of the time I see people get confused about their AI, why it's running sideways. It's because they forgot to turn him around. The arrow is forward, so X axis is forward. Now this guy fortunately does come with an animation blueprint already set up, so that saves us some time there. Obviously we need to customize it later on to do extra stuff, but it will do for this. We're then going to go into the project settings and look at our input settings. And in here we're going to be set up the different action mappings and access mappings for our character. So first of all, let's just get movement in here. So this would be like move. We'll do up. Okay, so move up. So it'll be that way on the screen. So we need to hit the W key for that one. We'll also make it work with the gamepad as well. So do this, and that'll be that's something in the Y. We're going to have also move down. Don't move down. Move right. Sorry. Move right is going to be D, and thumbstick to the right. And then we want to do the same for down and left, but this time they're going to combine them into this. So we move up. If I choose the down key, which is S, and change the scale here to -1, that'll work for us there. And the axis in the Y will be the same. You'd have to do it. Yeah. Move right. We'll do this again. That'll be A. This will be -1. Okay, so we've got up, move up, and move right. So that's what we'll do for now. We'll go back later and do like plant bomb, kick bomb, those sorts of things later. Let's just get him moving first. Okay, so on his character blueprint, we're going to set up those inputs. So we're going to do move up. And the move up direction in this view is X is positive. So you see the gizmo down here. So the X axis is going north. That's going to be our up relative position. So when I push move up, it's going to move positive in the X. So if I call move up, we're going to do add movement input. And the Y direction is going to be 1 in the X. And you put this scale value as axis value. Now if you do your map the other way around, then it'd be Y. Or if you're doing it completely upside down, it'd be -X. Just take a look at that gizmo, see which way it's facing to help you determine what direction you need to put in there. But that's all you need to do to make it move up. We'll do move right. And similarly, this is going to be using the Y-axis this time. So X is going to be back down to 0. And Y is going to be equal to 1. Goes to the right. Y is 1. So it's going to the right here. Okay. So that is our player character. To test him out, we're going to drag him into our scene. And in the details panel, I'm going to search for the possess setting. The auto possess player 0. So I've hit play now. Is my character. He's falling through the floor because I'm guessing his floor tile does not have collision on it. So let's fix that. Let's go into our thing here. And let's take a look at what collision we have on here. So show simple collision. So there's no simple collision on there. So what we need to do is go to collision setting up here and do add box simplified collision. And you'll see this little shape like so. Now I'm actually going to make this a little bit thicker too. So I'm going to select the box and just make it a little bit thicker. The reason why I want to make it thicker is because I don't want anything to accidentally clip through it. This prevents that for sure. So we'll just up there. That'd be good. Save that. Now let's take a look at this in game and see if our character stands still. Which it do. And I can move around the map freely, like so. WSD, and on my gamepad, I can move right, I can move up and down as well. Now you notice my character isn't turning around at the moment. So the reason why it doesn't turn around is because by default your character is set to rotate based on the controller's your direction. Now at the moment we're just making a move in a direction regardless of our controller. We don't need to use the control rotation for this game. So what you do is you go to the class defaults, and over here you'll see use controller rotation your. We'll turn that off. And instead we're going to go to character movement component and go down to the rotation settings until you find the rotation setting for orient rotation to movement. So whichever way he turns to move, his character will actually turn to match that direction. So as I move around, my character will actually turn around. Okay. Pretty neat. Okay. That's our character. So we've got that in there. Great. Now let's see if we can plant some bombs down. So what we're going to do is go back to our project settings and insert the bomb put down code. So we can go to action mappings and we'll call this one plant bomb. Now if you've never played Bomberman or can't remember how Bomberman works, is at the start of the game you only have one bomb you can place at a time. But as you pick up power-ups, you can then place maybe 2 bombs, 3 bombs, 4 bombs, and just start dotting them all over the place. You can also increase their blast radius, as well as many other different settings as well. So, plant bomb, we're going to make the A key on the gamepad, and we'll make the E key on the keyboard, maybe? I don't know. Okay. And we'll... So, to plant the bomb, we need to first of all make the bomb. So let's go back to content here, new folder, not new folder, new blueprint class. I'm going to choose an actor for this, and this will be the bomb. Add an RPG as a power up. Yeah, we could do. Yeah, it could be fun. And so we're always looking, as we get towards the end of the project, we'll be adding some new unique features to it. So I'm eager to hear what you guys have an idea of. Throw it in the comments, throw it in the chat. What kind of things do you think would be quite interesting or fun to put into the game to update it with new stuff? Always eager to hear what you guys have to say. Mesh, and we've got a bomb static mesh we can use from our assets. Bomb. Okay, I'm just going to put that above the floor so it'll sit nicely there. Hit compile, and this guy, when he gets planted, it will look like this, and then he will explode. Now for bombs will block your movement. You cannot move past bombs. That's the whole tactic of the game, is to be able to block players from that bomb's position. So we need to change their collision here to fill up actually a whole box here rather than just the block of the bomb. So let's go to our bombs. Well, in fact, we could just go to here and do it here actually. Do box collision and attach it to the root. This box collision here, we're going to change the box extent to be 50 by 50 by 50. I think no, it's not coming the right size. It must be 100 by 100 then. By 100 by 100. We'll see how that looks in a second. Okay, let's add that up here. So that 100 by 100 by 100 means that this box has now got 200 in its width and height and depth. Yeah. Yeah, so that fireball video ghost rack, you can see it's going to be actually used for our explosions here. Now we're going to handle that. It's obviously going to be a lot more interesting to see because it's going to be a lot more going on. But yeah, we'll be doing that. And we may even be able to put in chaos physics to make things blow up and destroy in a very nice, satisfying way too. Is this a 4-player multiplayer version you're making? Is Bomberman 2 better? So we'll be making a multiplayer, yeah, 4-player, and we'll have AI in it too, but down the line. So obviously this is not going to all happen in one night. We'll be doing this throughout the year, and having hopefully a completed game by the end of the year for you guys. You can freely download, make yourself if you want. So let's just check how that looks here. That looks like it's quite good there, okay? So that box there is looking pretty nice. So if I go into the box here and change the collision settings for it, rather than overlap all dynamic, I'm going to do block all dynamic. Or just do block all, actually. So if I were to place a bomb in here, okay, let's place it, let's turn snap back on to 100 and place it here. As I move, I shouldn't be able to walk past the bomb here. Okay, so I can't walk past the bomb in any kind of capacity. So I'm blocked in. And then it'll flash, blow up, and kill us. Okay, so bombs working. Excellent. So let's make it so we can place one. So when we're going to place them, we need them to snap to a grid location. So this grid location is going to be 100th. And that is a 200th. Okay, so every 200th space is a grid space. Okay, that's important to realize because we can snap stuff to a grid later on. So let's go to our player character and do the planting of the bomb. Plant bomb. And we won't bother doing any checks just yet. We'll just make it so it spawns a bomb. The spawn actor from class. And we're going to choose the bomb actor. Okay, so the spawn transform is we want him to spawn on the player's location. Now the player's location is immediately going to be where they're standing, snap to a grid position. And the way it works in Bomberman is you can place a bomb where you're standing, but as soon as you leave the space of the bomb, you can get blocked in by your own bomb. So what we need to do here is set that up so we can toggle the bomb's collision off and on at the start. First of all, let's get placing it. So on spawn transform, we're going to split this. The location here is going to be the actor location of our character here. Get actor location, and we're going to do a vector snap to grid. And in here, you put in the grid size of 200, and then place that into the spawn location. So now it will spawn exactly at that grid location. Now for this, we're going to make it so it always spawns, ignore collisions. And with the bomb here, we'll just turn off collisions on the box for now. So no collision for now. And take a look at how this works. So go down here, push bomb, and there it is. Okay, also I'm stuck because the bomb has a mesh on it. But you can see how it snapped it to that grid position using that snap to function. So to recap there, we're just getting the actor's location and then snapping it to a 200th width. So the grids are in 200s, that's what we put in there. And that'll spawn it there. So now we need to tell it to have no collision for us as the owner to begin with. So we need to know who owns this bomb, which is very important when you blow people up because you need to know who killed you. So on the owner, you're going to drag out and do self. And then on the bomb itself over here, we're going to go on begin play and do a drag out of our box collision. And we're going to tell it to do set ignore, not set ignore, sorry, ignore actor when moving. Okay, ignore actor when moving. Plug in the owner into here, and should ignore, and that box will now ignore the owner. So let's turn off the collision on the mesh here, and then turn on collision back on for our box. And what we should see is our character is able to walk right through it. So rather than being blocked by it, we should be able to just walk freely through it. Oh, I placed 2 by accident. I can't, so why is that broken? Begin play, actor in removing. I guess we can't because it is moving. Okay, so what we need to do then is tell it to ignore collisions with the actor in completely. Okay. If we search for collision. I guess what we can do is make it do it the other way around. So on the bomber character, we do the capsule, ignore actor when moving, plug in this actor here, tick the box there. So let's try that one. Okay, so now I can move freely through my own bomb. But once I leave the bomb, I want to be able to be blocked by my own bomb, so I can't go back through it. So what we need to do is tell it this to clear its ignored actor list. And we can only do that when we've left the bomb that we've placed. So if we go to the bomb and make an event dispatcher for this, and we'll do leave bomb collision, left bomb collision, and we're going to call this thing on the actor actor end overlap. Do functions override actor end overlap, and we're just going to call this. So that should trigger when we walk through it. But will it generate if we're ignoring them? We'll see. It should do, but we'll see. Yeah. I'm going to go to the bomber character, and on here we're going to do bind event to left bomb collision. Then put a custom event into the thing here, and clear bomb collision. And then we're going to take our capsule component out again, and we're going to go to its collision settings, and we're going to do the clear collision, clear move ignore actors. Okay, and I'm just going to put a print string on this so we know when it's happened, if it does happen. And go back to the game, push play as I walk through, place bomb. Yeah, no, it's going to ignore it completely. Okay, so that's not good. So this doesn't work because we've told our character to ignore its collision entirely whilst we are moving. So I need to know when I've moved out of it. It's kind of hard because if I've got this, and has it got overlap events? I guess it has. Yeah, overlap events. So yeah, how can I get around that? Ignore component maybe when moving. Possibly that one. And what we'll do is on our bomb, we'll have a separate box component around it. So box 1, and this one will be slightly bigger. 5. So slightly bigger. Box 1 though is still 100 by. Sorry, the first box is still 100 by 100. But what we'll do is we'll make this collision box, the inside, the smaller one, be the one that blocks your position, and box 1 be the one you end overlap with. So box 1 here, we're going to change this from block all to overlap all. Hit compile, and we're going to tell it to ignore this block here. We'll call this one the block box, and this one we'll call the overlap box. So block box is going to block all, overlap is going to overlap all. So I want to ignore block box. So if I go to the bomber character, get the return value and get block box, I'm going to ignore that. I can move freely through it still. However, when I clear the collision, that should still trigger because we aren't ignoring the whole actor, just the one thing of it. Probably need to compile. Yep, there you go. So let's test that out now. E. There you go. Turns it back on. So hello. It worked. I just need to also change the ignore move actors. That's not longer the case. It's now clear ignore components. Should now be, I don't need to think. Should be able to place a bomb, but once I leave its area, I can't walk back through it. Okay, I can trap myself into areas here quite easily. Okay, and that's the kind of mechanic you see in Bomberman. That works quite well. That's pretty nice. Okay, next let's make these bombs detonate and explode. So we need them to animate to indicate that they're about to explode, and then they on a timer will then explode. So in Bomber, we're going to go to the event graph and go to the begin play event. On the begin play event, we need to set up our bomb to actually detonate. So we're going to do set timer by event, and we're going to say it will blow up after 3 seconds maybe, and then custom event for this for explode. Okay, so once it explodes, we'll for now just head to destroy actor. All we want to test. Okay. We then want to make it so it pulses as it goes closer to the end here. So what I'm going to do here is do a timeline. Handle this. Be exploding. TL for timeline. Go into here and head a float track to this. And this would be bomb scale. So you're going to make it grow. Like it goes pulses over this size here. So we're going to put in the first key at 0 and then a value of 1. And then we're going to do another value at 1 second with a value of 1.5. We then want to add 1 to either side of this, so you get like a spike. So speed then 0.9, 1, 1.1, 1. You get a little spike. And we'll see those spikes get more and more frequent. So let's now go to 2 seconds and do it here. So 1.9, 1, 2, 1.5, 2.1, 1. Then we go on to this bit. So remember, up to 3 seconds. So we'll probably make this actually longer than 3 seconds, but we'll see how this goes. 2.5. We can also then make this spike again. 2.5, 0.5. Set that back to 1. 2.4. 2.6. Okay. And then we'll put one last one here. So this will be 2.9. And then this one will be 3 in time. This time it's going to grow even bigger, so we'll do 2. And then we'll do nothing on this one because that would be it. So we'll do 3. We actually get rid of it. There you go. And change the length here to 3 seconds. Probably need to change this later because I feel like it's going to be too quick. But we'll see. Okay, so that's our timeline looking like so. We're then going to go back to the event graph and use this timeline to scale the whole object. So, or not the whole object, but at least the mesh part. So drag out the mesh. Scale. And you're going to do set. Get a set world scale 3D. And we'll there. And we want to plug that into there. Okay, so it's going to feed that all into all directions. So it should be evenly growing. Let's test this out. Go in here. E. Pulse, pulse, boom. I think that's actually quite nice. That looks quite good. Boom, 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 boom. boom, 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 boom. Okay, so 3 seconds actually might be quite nice. I like that. That's nice. Okay. So overall, not too bad. I quite like that effect there. So the last thing we're going to probably try and do now is going to make it so it spawns these crates into our level. So the way this works is we're going to start our character off over here in the corner. This is where all the characters tend to start. They tend to start in the corners of the map. So when it's 4-player, 1 in each corner. We're then going to fill it with crates. So let's go into our make a new class here. The actor crate. Name that so it's not all weird. Yep. And we're going to add the mesh. Use the cube crate. It is up there. Okay. And that'll do for that. Close this. And we're going to place these in the level where they should be starting at. So when you're doing procedural level design, this method is called a subtractive method. Because what you're doing is you're placing everything you need to place into it, and then you're going around and removing the bits afterwards. So it randomly will move parts of the map. Just place this all here. So yeah, subtractive method. The additive method is the opposite, where you're not having anything in there. It will just go around and choose whether or not it should spawn something at that point. Something like this, it'd be quite good to do for this type of game. It's not too much work to get going. And it needs to fill up the whole entire thing. That's key. So let's just make this. Go there. Obviously minus the bricks. We don't want it to add the brick. Then I'm going to select each gap here, 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 and here. Place there, and place that everywhere. Okay, so we've got the whole thing here. So as I said, the corners you need to keep clear because that's where players spawn. So you typically, and if you look at a Bomberman game, you delete these 3 in each corner. And there. And go. Okay, so we've got those corners free. Next, we need to randomly destroy a selection of these. So not many, but some. So we've got a total of, I don't know how many we've got there. Close to 100. Okay. Look. 81. So we've got 81 crates in there. So let's say we take away 10% of them. So on the level blueprint, it could be a level print. Actually, we'll do it on a game mode. The game mode probably makes more sense. Let's do it properly on game mode. And we're going to do add blueprint class, game mode base, and do bomber arena mode. And we go in here and go to the event graph. And I'll make a function here to generate level. Generate level. File. And I'm going to get all actors of class. We're going to choose the cube, the crate. And we're going to take from here and take away 10% of them. So I want to get this out. I want to get the length of this. And then I want to multiply that by a float, not a thing. Hang on. Multiplied by... Oh yeah, you have to change it, don't you? So yeah, one big difference with UE5 with the multiplied, all the subtraction, addition, all those mathematical operations, you can change the pins here. So that's a float there. So this one will be 0.1. Okay, so divided by 0.1, that gets us 10%. And then we'll do a for loop. Put that pin there. pin float. Why are you being weird? Hang on. Okay, let's wet pin to float. Plug that into there. There we go. UE5, weird stuff. Okay, so 0.1 in there. It gets us this value, which we're going to then truncate. Truncate. Basically lop off the remainder of that. So, so if you've got like 8, say you got 80 bricks in there, times by 0.1 is 8. 8 works fine, but 81, that would give you a decimal point number, so it'd be 8 still. So truncate will give us that, and then we'll do a for loop. And we'll do last index in there. We could take away 1 from that to make it extra accurate, but it's fine. We'll leave it like that. And then finally, we just need to take our array here, the out actors, which I'm going to promote to a local variable here. Crates. And drop that into there. I'm going to take the crates thing here, do random array item, and we're going to take this one and destroy this actor. Now, I also want to do another random on this, but I need to remove it from this crate array. So when we do this, I need to actually set the random here to a local variable to get the random crate. And the reason why you have to do this when you use random is because it'll, when the line, say this white line here hits set random crate, it will then go back and look for random number. Then it hits this one, it's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to look back and find random number. So if you don't set this to use the same value like this, it's going to get different results each time because random is going to be completely randomized. But because this is set, we can use that same set value for destroy actor. And also that means we can then remove that one from the crates array. So to do remove item and remove the random crate. That way we won't get picked again by accident. And that'll do. File, go to event graph and chuck generate level onto the start of begin play. So we just need to tell our game to use this mode. We do that via the project settings. We go to maps and modes and we set the default game mode here to bomber arena mode. And we'll close that. File, save all, and then we're going to go back to our level here and push play. And you see now it's cleared a random selection of blocks. So that is 10%. We might need to go up a bit on that. We should really research into how many Bomberman actually deletes. But let's up that a little bit and put that in as... Actually, we'll do that as a variable here, actually. Let's make this an input. And this input will be... delete percentage. And that defaults to 0.2. Let's go on event graph, it calls it, and we can make that a variable that can be changed during the game settings if you want. So it removes less or more. Play. Okay, so now we've got 20% of them disappeared. Okay. Move around the block pretty neatly. Okay. Right. So we've got 10 minutes left actually. So we don't have time to do the particle effect for it. But what we'll do is make the bomb when it explodes to destroy some crates. Make them disappear. So on the explosion here, before we do destroy actor, we need to do line traces out. And it'll be a multi-line trace. Because the idea is when the bomb is extra long, it will just go out and clear multiple. So, did it clear multiple or does it clear just one? Anyone familiar with Bomberman, the olden one? If you got like a long bomb, does it just stop at the first block or does it go through the first block into the next one? I can't recall. Let's know. But we'll do a line trace for the one at the moment. So, line trace by... Oh no, multi-line trace, sorry. Multi-line trace by channel, and the start point is going to be our actor start location. Get actor location goes through, I believe. Yeah, I thought it would, but I'm having doubts now. That's fine. We'll aim for through. Do I stream every 11 p.m. every Saturday? Yes. Yep. Think through to. Okay, yeah, cool. We're going for through. So there's the multi-line trace starting there, and we want to do 4 line traces, 1 in each direction. Okay. So we need to do this on a for loop. And if you know, and people were asking me before, like, why would you need to use the radial line trace that I showed before? This is where you'd use it. Do a for loop. And you want to do 0 to 3. 0 counts as 1. So the start position is going to be active location there. We then want to add a vector to this. Place this on. I'm going to multiply this vector. Oh, hello. So, and we're going to multiply the float. I need to convert this one to a float. This bit of range, we'll deal with that in a minute. The main thing is the angle. So the angle we're going to get from this. Is this the first Bomberman stream? It is the first one. Yeah. It hits the first one. It hits one crate but multiple players. Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah, I knew it did hit multiple players, but I wasn't too sure if it destroyed multiple crates. That's the thing. Anyway, so this index here is going to change from 0 to 3. So we multiply this by a float. You don't even need a float, actually. You just put it 90. That'd be fine. And then we're going to multiply this by a rotational angle. So we're going to rotate vector. And we'll get rotate vector. Not quart. Again, rotate vector. Rotate vector. And the angle is going to be in the Z for our B here. So split this, put that in the Z. And the X is going to be 1. We then multiply this by how far away this needs to be. So convert that to a float. So if our grids are 200, the center point is in the middle, I want to go to at least 200. So it'd be 200 times by the strength of the bomb. So we need a variable in here for bomb strength. That'll be an integer. And this is the thing that increases as you pick up these tokens to increase the strength of your bombs. So how far they go. So I'm going to take the bomb strength out here. I'm going to multiply this by a float. We'll put that in there. Ah, no. What are you doing? Oh, the Unreal 5 sometimes does really annoy me. Why do this, mate? Why? Now I can't convert that back to a float, can I? To float. And I won't plug it in there yet. Okay, so this will be 200. That will go into there, and then this will go into there. There we are. Okay, so the bomb strength, we're going to start off with a default value of 1. And that goes through there. And then there's multi-line trace out, and it's going to do a trace channel invisibility. We'll change that soon to be a different trace channel, so it only destroys blocks that are crates. But on out hit here, we're going to do for each loop. And for each one, we're going to break this open. And we're going to take the hit actor here and blow them up. So just do destroy actor. Easier to do. So. I then want to destroy actor itself for the bomb. So on completed here, bomb itself. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's test that out. Now this will destroy all crates as well, all bricks as well. So if I hit play here and put a bomb down, it will destroy everything, including like the floor here. So we only want to destroy crates. So for that, we're going to use a custom trace channel. So we go to project settings, do trace channel, add new trace channel, and we'll do explodable. And default response for this is going to be overlap. No, sorry. Default response is going to be not overlap. It's going to be ignore. There we are. And then on the crates, we're going to change their response to that channel. Change that to custom. For explodable to be an overlap. So now only the crates should be the ones that blow up. Oh wait, no, not yet. And then we have to go into our bomb and change the trace channel here to like that. To explodable. Now if I push play. Here, we can blow up these crates here. And I can go here, place this one. And we now have the early starts of Bomberman. Obviously we're missing the fireball effects, but it's there. And when we add other characters, there'll be enemies in the level 2. So if you place Bomberman single player, there are enemies they fight off and they could be in the level 2. But here they shouldn't blow up the other ones. Yep. Power-ups we'll put in there too. Multiplayer we'll put in there. And then some extra bonus features that are unique to our version of Bomberman. But this is a great start. I feel very confident about this. I feel like we've got some really good progress in here. And we've basically got the start of Bomberman. And for multiplayer wise, if you make this online multiplayer, it's quite easy to replicate because all you're replicating is the player movement and the bomb. And then the hardest thing to replicate probably is the spawning of the crates. Make sure they're all the same. But that's not too hard if you do it. They let the server just do it. So really it's quite simple to make multiplayer too. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm stuck. No. Okay. One Bomberman game. Well, I'm happy with the progress we've done tonight, and we're going to call it there. I feel that's a good place to stop it. So we'll be back on here in a couple of weeks' time when we go back down to our Bomberman game here. And next time we'll add in the fireball effects and make the bombs change in size as well. So if you want to see that episode, keep an eye on the channel as we'll be announcing our live streams going forward soon. But next week we won't be doing it. We'll be doing something else instead. We'll kind of like do a rotation. If you're new to the channel, it's like a rotation. But we do a live stream every Wednesday as well at 11 PM GMT, which is a question time. So you can ask any questions you like about your own projects, any help you may need. Come along to question time on a Wednesday evening GMT time and ask your questions away. I want to say a massive thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members for their continued support. It's because of you guys that I'm able to do this for you full time. So it's great. Thank you so much. If you want to support me, head over to patreon.com/Ryan Laley. As I said before, gold patrons get access to the starter files of this one, and they'll get the project files as they stand right now here from the upload portal that they have available to them. As a patron, you also get access to all my videos early before anyone else. Some videos that patrons are getting access to or will already have access to. There's water plugin ones. There's a photo mode. How to make a photo mode one. Starting on Monday for patrons is a survival game. So how to, like, you know, live on an island and do stuff like that. What else is coming? There's loads of things. Yeah, so many things coming out. So looking forward to seeing what content you enjoy the most. The new poll as well is up for patrons and YouTube members, so do check it out if you're one of those, and you can make your vote cast for this month's video. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. I do wish you the best of nights, and I'll see you next time on Wednesday's live stream. Bye everyone.